Hi, my name is Arlene Lambert, and I'm reading. My presentation is on motivating preschoolers to read. Preschoolers are emergent readers. They use familiar objects and experiences to explore the world around them. Books are tools children use to gain new insight. Placing books strategically in spaces is to create interest. And what do I mean by that? Emergent readers use things that are familiar to them. So, in condition to books, like if I'm reading a book like this to the children, where do you see it have foods on the book? I would definitely include something like this because you know what? This is something that is familiar to children, as well as something like this. So, because they do not use words, they use pictures. So, in creating pictures, you use the book and you use familiar things to help engage and to really get children into the atmosphere of reading. The environment. Placing books in each learning center into a preschool classroom provides opportunity and access, creating condition for reading throughout the day. So as a teacher or as an educator into the room, we are the ones that actually have to create the conditions for reading, not the students, because we are the models that they look at. So some of the conditions in which you would place reading material for children would be simply in the house area, the writing area, the block area, as well as the library. Typically, when people think about reading and books and engaging children to have them motivated in reading, they think about the library area because it's understood that it needs books. Yes, it does, but you can place books into baskets in all different areas of the spaces because you want to create interest into children. For example, in the house area, some of the books you would have in the house area, and what goes into the house area, typically things like teacups, the foods, and things of that nature. You may have a book about cooking. You may have a book like what I show, which is on foods, so that even while the children are engaging into different types of play within that space, they can have a book that if they choose to correlate with that play. Same right with the writing center, there are books. In the blocks, the block area would have books on probably a building structure or some pictures. So as the children build their blocks, they could actually look at the pictures in the book or pictures on the wall and begin to build. Now, children are not verbal a lot between preschool age, and even if they're verbal, their vocabulary is limited. So they mostly use pictures to express themselves. Again, this is a great example of what a library in a preschool looks like. Again, creating that condition. The environment is calm, it is inviting, it's separated. You can take the books, just looking at the picture in itself gives the depiction of a very relaxed atmosphere. You know, the children have their blankets, so you add things into the area to create that atmosphere where you can relax, you can read. You have different types of books. You have big books, small books, all these different books that will engage children in their different interests. Okay, so the book environment need to build equity in there because it has to be equitable for all students. Students that come from different backgrounds, students who are probably a non English speaking readers. So you want to give a variety of books. And again, we can go into the types of books. So one of my favorite book that reflects pretty much all of these points that's on the slide, which is the big print with few words, rhyming words, interactive words, repetitive words, large colorful pictures, book reflecting children's background. One of the books that I really, really like when it comes to almost showing everything all the points that is on the slide is brown bear, what do you see? First, the book is big. Then it have a picture of a brown bear. This brown bear is an animal. Most kids know what the animals are. Even if they don't know what an animal, the bear, you can always correlate the bear to different types of animals. So you can change. And when you get into the book, then there are other animals within the books. Then when you look at the print in the book, it says, brown bear, what do you see? So not only is the book have repetition of words, but it also asks an open-ended question, which is to help gauge the children in creating conversations among themselves with the teachers. You can use these sorts of books to help engage structured and unstructured learning and play. So in the first book, in the first page, the book is really huge. It says, brown bear, what do you see? There goes the question. So, and it says, I see a red bird looking at me. There the book goes with asking a question, which create opportunity for prediction, creating conversation amongst with the teacher and the children, or even creating conversations among the peers. Again, big books like this. And this book can also be used to exhibit different things that kids can learn. We can talk about the facial expression of the book. Look at the animal. Is he happy? Is he sad? Look at the small eyes. How many eyes do you have? So it really teaches across content areas as well. Reading conditions again. We can read in the library, we could use media, we could use radio, we can use television, magazines, newspaper, and internet. Reading does not have to necessarily occur in the library. And like I said, you can use any learning area within a preschool setting to actually help students to read and to engage in books. And the opportunity isn't the possibility of having a variety of books. Big books, small books, but books that are small in print, very short story, and a lot of pictures so that children could create their own imaginations and they can create the stories. You know, in my preschool, I have worked extensively with preschoolers, and you would see them turning the page of the book. And as they turn the page, they are reading, but it doesn't necessarily reflect the word in the book, but they are creating verbiage based on things that they are familiar to with the picture in the book. And that's okay, because that helps to motivate kids to read. But us as educators now, we would want to, ask open-ended questions, create an opportunity to have the kids continue to talk and communicate what they feel. So, moving forward, read aloud. This is a perfect condition for a teacher to develop skill set within children. When we read aloud, students can focus on words. Teachers can bring the story to life by using children prior knowledge. And the thing with teacher read aloud, it also helps with struggling students who are struggling to read. Sometimes with, just like I just did, I picked up the book, I hold the book, brown bear, the child can see the correlation of the word, they can listen to the sounds of the letters, and that gives the creative juice within themselves growing, and they don't have to be focused on how do I sound the word or what the word is, but it helps because at least they can see letters, they can hear how I read, and begin to pay attention to the sound of the letters. So, also, teachers can bring the book to life by using children prior knowledge. One of the books that I love to use that with is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. It's a very well used book within preschool, and most kids tend to know the story. And I like the story specifically because it's a non-fictional book that when you look at the book, it goes, it has these beautiful pictures that the kids can relate to. And once you want to think from prior knowledge into bringing into new knowledge, okay, to scaffold the children to the next level, you use things like this. You know, kids are very familiar with fruits. We could talk about the fruits that the caterpillar eat, and look at the caterpillar when he's small. Again, small, and as he eats the caterpillar, he begins to grow, and then he metamorphosizes into a beautiful caterpillar. Again, using prior knowledge, which is the knowledge from eating fruits and having fruits and vegetables, this caterpillar turned into this huge, beautiful butterfly. And like the author says, therefore, taking advantage of prior knowledge during the process of reading comprehension is an important skill, because it comes to the ZDP, which is a zone of proximity. You're taking the children from where they are, the knowledge that they have, and with me being the teacher or educators, being that instructional support within the classroom, is taking that prior knowledge and bringing in new knowledge and meeting the children where they are, so you scaffold them to a new level of thinking. Props is phenomenal. Props allow children to engage in reading experiences and encourage children involvement. You know, when you give children puppets to play with, especially puppets, puppet tends to relic feelings and emotions, and children enjoy those moments as they talk and they read. And you know, you often ask children, how do you feel, and they would tell you how they feel. Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? So they use puppets. I love to use props, but predominantly puppets. This is also a prop, just to add flavor to the story and to the reading. And for young kids, that is really, really important. Research also says, it says recent studies on self-concept measures have used puppets in examining young children self-concept, because young children appear to favor lifelike props for self-examination. Again, children can only use experiences from what they have, and especially prior knowledge into the knowledge that you are providing them in that moment. So puppets is a really good props that we can use in any component of reading. Again, early childhood researchers call master and challenge task mastery. Motivation plays a key role in children learning and social and academic achievements. Media. Varying media platform can be used to extend children using, which helps to bridge the connection between school and home by using outside experiences. You know, outside influences such as when I'm reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Now, in this book, I may go on to YouTube and look at videos showing the children the different caterpillars and this different process of the caterpillar, as it comes from being a small caterpillar to a big caterpillar to going into the cocoon and metamorphosizing into the big caterpillar. So with that, I mean, metamorphosize it into a beautiful butterfly. So with that, you can use media, which is a great option to support children learning and motivation for reading. And it says here that the YouTube in the classroom aids them the most by allowing them to organize their ideas while speaking, gaining the ability to guess the meaning of unfamiliar words, and using the video to help increase English language fluency. And Basically, young kids need all of these. It's just to provide the opportunity and the space for them to learn and develop and have a love for reading. This is